生活中，美国彩虹内藏寺南无一体臭导佛母护摩法会开始，恭迎真和宗创办人无上法王圣尊莲生活佛。
The Homa fire offering ceremony of Yeshichoga has now begun. We will be welcoming our lineage root guru to enter into the Homa hall. Let us now stand up, join our palms with reverence, and recite the root guru mantra.
想于你，为金星闪灵395把金刚嗡啊吽观想于你，为金星闪灵此平等与提手。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Sung to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. The offering of Hatha. Let us now join our palms with reverence, and we would like to invite Vajra Master Lien Tzu to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage Guru as a symbol of the highest honor. The Ishichoka Buddha Mother Homa fire offering ceremony has now begun. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Lien Sung. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the root Guru mantra 7 times. Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables. On your right, relatives and ancestors from the father side. On your left, from the mother side. friends and teachers behind you, enemies and karmic creditors in front of you, and all sentient beings around you, practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Wake up call. Recite purification mantras and the earth deity mantra. Recite invocation mantra. We sincerely invoke Namo, our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Shan. Namo, Namo, White Mahapadma Kumara. Namo, Self-Mastery Lotus Light Buddha. Namo, True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Khoma, Namo Ishi Chogal, Buddha Mother. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Khoma, Namo Ishi Chogal, Buddha Mother. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Khoma, Namo Ishi Chogal, Buddha Mother. Namo Golden Mother, the primordial Jet Pod. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. True Buddha School 8 primary deities. Namo Yamantaka and Akalanata. Namo 4 heavenly kings. Namo Sima Bodhisattva. Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lechang Temple, and at the Southern Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, mountain god, earth god, plant god, wind god, water god, heavenly fire god, dragon gods, all divinities as well as the city gods, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Great homage using visualization, first to root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, Lady Samudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, Lady Samudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground, Lady Samudra. Fourth half-bow. Great mandala offering from the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha, the main deity of Homa, Namo Ishi Joga, Buddha Mother, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and marriage purge our karma to all of our civilization. Om Sawa. For food refuge, visualize our lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the mantra. Namo Gurube, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Gurube, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Namo Gurube, Namo Buddhaye, Namo Dhammaye, Namo Sankhyaye. Armor protection. Form Vajraklap Sudra, recite Vajrapari mantras. Om Bodhiranjari, Om Bodhiranjari, Om Bodhiranjari, Om Bodhiranjari, Om Bodhiranjari, Om Bodhiranjari, Om Bodhiranjari. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lien Shan to perform blessings with mala. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lianzang to set ceremonial demarcation and to bless the registration forms, homework cards, and all the offerings. Please stand up and join your palms with reverence, and we are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and bridal deliverance. We will be reciting the Hat Mantra of Ishijoga Buddha Mother. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Rinchen to please return to the Homa throne. Inviting Simu, all participants and viewers, please be seated.
Om
依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风。风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风变在依是作甲变嘛是地风，风
一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽。吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽。吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽，吽贝扎一时冲甲贝玛西地吽。
Recite the heart mantras of the eight principal deities and incan Buddha Amitabha.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Panamo He Thorin Soka, Om คาจยะมาทาเปคาจยะลาจาสมอเทเดเฮโสคา南无3691159500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无3691159500同名同号阿弥陀佛。南无3691159500同名同号阿弥陀佛。请大家起念，请佛注释祈愿文。
Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay in Sahagwal. I pay homage to the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, compassionate bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating, my body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage deluded ones. 3 jewels emanate wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and diverse, rely on His Vajrabadi for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead that you stay in the Sangha world to turn the Dharma wheel to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. May all uphold the Buddhas, ascended and of utmost bliss, repaying fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. True Buddha disciples wholeheartedly dedicate the merit of this Homa fire offering ceremony to the Eishi Chugal to compassionately protect His Holiness with great health, untouched by illnesses, to always be happy, spontaneous, great bliss, and to continuously samsara, to use the Buddha Dharma to touch people's hearts and liberate them from affliction and sufferings. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage. To Ichi Chugal. Homage to the 4 guardian mothers, the Dakinis of the 8 directions, and the goddesses of the 20 heavens. Homage to Ishichuka, Mandarava, Sakya Devi, Kalashiti, and Tashi children. Homage to the 4 guardian mothers, the Dakinis of the 8 directions, the goddesses of the 20 heavens. Homage to Ishichuga. We pray to Ishichuga to guide the Bardo spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha lands. We pray to Ishichuka to bless all participants with good health and all illnesses be eradicated, the pandemic disappear, and the coronavirus disappear. We pray to the first Buddha Mother, Eishi Jogal, to please bless us with perfect wisdom and ample resources. We pray that you bless us with the complete wisdom. May we live with love, respect, wisdom, and skillful means. May we have attainments in all of those. We pray to Ishi Chuga to please bless all participants with good health, all wishes fulfilled, calamities transformed into auspiciousness, and strong spiritual commitment. We pray that you bestow the Dharma, the 9-stage Dharma, upon all participants. The Shravakahood, Pratika Buddhahood, Bodhisattvahood, the Kriya Yoga, Charya Yoga, and the Yoga Tantra, Mahayoga, Anu Yoga, and Adi Yoga. Please bestow them upon all true Buddha school disciples. And gods in heavens, gods on earth, may we be far from all calamities. May all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be granted in completion. May all enemies and enmities disappear. May pandemic disappear. May coronavirus disappear. May all hindrances and obstacles disappear. May all afflictions disappear. We say 100 syllable mantra 3 times.
Sawa karma sutame citamu siriran guru hom ha 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 bakawan sawa tahakata petsamami mancha petsabawa mahasamaya sato ahom pe om petsa sato samaya manupanaya petsa sato tenubadi cha citso me bawa suto kayu me bawa sobo kayu me bawa Anulato me bawa sawa siddhi me budaya cha sawa karma sutta me citamu siriran guru hom
ha 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 he bhagavan sawa tathagata pecamami mancha pecapawa maha samaya sato ahom thei peca sato samaya manupanaya peca sato tenupadicha ceco me pawa suto kayu me pawa supu kayu me pawa anulato me pawa sawa siti me budaya cha sawa karma sutta me cittamu siriran guru hom ha 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 he bhagavan sawa tathagata pecamami mancha pecapawa maha samaya sato ahom thei
Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostitution on the ground, release the mudra second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostitution on the ground, release the mudra third to all Herukas and Dharma protectors. Visualize for prostitution on the ground, release the mudra fourth hepa. Recite completion mantra. We are truly grateful to our lineage Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng, for presiding over this Ishichuga Homa fire offering ceremony. Now let us join our palms, and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teachings. Let's pay homage to the lineage Gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Cheng Kung. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Darji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The Venerable Ishichuga. Homage to the four guardian mothers, the 8 directional Dakinis, and the 20 heavenly goddesses. Homage to the 5 great Buddha mothers of Guru Padmasambhava, Ishichogal, Mandarawa, Sakya Devi, Kalashiti, and Tashi children. Sumo, Tanzan Katso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do? Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoin. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Chumi. Yappy. Bling bling. Konbanwa. Not konbanwa, it's konnichiwa. It's good afternoon, not good evening. Konnichiwa.
现在通知大家，
Now, I'd like
下个礼
to
拜天
let everybody know
8月
about next
16
Sunday, August 16,
3点 PM
Sunday at 3 p.m.
是立度母
There will be green
普
Tara
会。
Homa fire offering
那
ceremony.
么立度母呢，就是多罗菩萨。
And green Tara is the Tara Bodhisattva.
那么一般立度母跟
And
21度母
typically,
都会一般来讲都是一起
green
会
Tara and the 21 Taras
立度母
would come together.
21度母
Green Tara and 21
跟
Taras.
这个除瘟疫度母
So that includes the Tara who dispels epidemics,
到
will all descend to the Homa Mandala, the Homa altar.
那么立度母曾经在高雄
And
大义
once in Kaohsiung, Taiwan,
传过法，
at the Ta Lechang temple, I have transmitted the Dharma of Green Tara.
我们也做了很多次的这个21度母
We have performed
其中
several deities of the 21 Taras,
也做了好几次。
and of them,
那希望
the Tara who
大家
dispels epidemics,
踊跃的报
the Homa, have been performed many times.
立
I
度
hope everybody will register themselves as primary supplicants, because Green Tara is a very extraordinary and special
那个
bodhisattva.
大法王讲，
I have said it before, according to
就修度
His Holiness the 16th Karmapa,
上
that he practiced Tara in the daytime and the
这是他
protector
日常的
at
功课
night. That's his daily homework.
晚上
In the daytime, he practiced Tara, Dharma practice, and at night he practiced protector, which was Mahakala.
马哈嘎拉，
Mahakala.
所以这个16世大法王卡尔巴曾经
So
讲过
His Holiness the 16th Karmapa once said
容易相应，
that it is very easy to gain spiritual response with Tara.
那么今天呢，我们是做一喜出港的父母
And today we perform the Homa of Ishichoka.
本身的来
And
历
we all know the
都讲过。
origin or the history of Ishichoka. In her past life, she was the ever weeping Bodhisattva. At the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, she was the ever weeping Bodhisattva. And she was also once a white Tara.
她甚至是恒河女神，
And she was also
恒河女神，
the goddess of the Ganges
也
River.
曾经是
And
莎莎地
she was also Saraswati, the goddess with marvelous sound.
后来
So
手感也曾经转世
her reincarnations were
是马
innumerable.
家尊，
And then later on, Ishichuga reincarnated as Magic
所
Lamdre.
以她的来历非常大。
So therefore,
然后手印呢，
background
是一手
was
握
very
一手握
tremendous. And the mudra,
持
one is
金刚杵，
in the first, which is holding a Vajra scepter,
一手是
and the other hand
嘎巴拉，
is holding a Kapala.
嘎巴拉， 他的这个手印。
That's her
那么他的
mudra.
咒语呢，
And her mantra
有3种。Om Beja
Three.
Choga Bema Hom. Om Beja Ishi Choga Bema Hom Hom Hey. Om Beja Ishi Choga Bema Set So Ha.
There are 3 mantras of Ishichoga, and you can use any one of them.
它最主要呢，刚开始的时候啊，这个莲华生大师
In the beginning,
有传他的
Guru Padmasambhava transmitted to her
所谓大圆满九次第，大圆满九
the
次
9 stages of the Great Perfection Dharma.
声闻圣，
That's the Shravakahood, Bodhisattvahood, Pratyeka Buddhahood,
然后呢，密教的
and then
四部
for Tantric
行
Buddhism,
部
at the Kriya Yoga, Charya Yoga, and Yoga
最
Tantra.
后的
And lastly, Mahayoga, Anu Yoga, and Ati Yoga.
后来一起抽嘎修成
And
光化身。
eventually Ishichuga had the attainment of the rainbow light accomplishment, attainment of the rainbow light.
很重要的
So we could say that she is
法的教主，他也是等于灵马派的一个教主。
it's one of the patriarch of the Nyingma-pa
他是第一
who's
佛
spreading Buddha
他
Dharma.
修成红光化身，
So she was the first and foremost consort of Buddha Mother of Guru Padmasambhava who had the attainment of rainbow body transformation.
要点
She was extremely great and
莲
tremendous.
花生大师有教他
Many pith instructions
关于
through her spiritual cultivation. Guru Padmasambhava taught her
行
about or related to
义
food, living, transportation, clothing, and the body, speech, and mind. Many
啊，
pith instructions or key formulas in spiritual cultivation
大家讲一个
that was transmitted by Guru Padmasambhava to her. And before the Dharma teaching, I would
在一
like
个精
to
神
tell
病
a
院里
joke.
面，
In the psychiatric ward, there were 2 patients
热烈的
who were
一本书，
deeply involved in discussing a book.
就
The
讲
patient A said,
这本书啊，实在写的非常不错。
this
写得非
book
常好
was really
病人 B 就讲，
written well,
真的写得
written
太好，
really well. And patient
根
B
本
said,
是一部
it's really well
画式的
written.
巨作
It is
一句
a
绘画都没有，
great
简洁有
novel,
力
classic,
只有一个缺点，
no
那
nonsense,
就是
very
出场
powerful.
人物太多了。
But there's one problem
这
is
时候
that too
来的
many
这个精神医院
characters
的
in
这
it.
个护士
And at this
就
time,
是
the nurse
就讲，
came by and said, hey,
你们两个
the
赶
two
快
of
把
you,
电话簿放回去。
return the phone book back to its place.
原来他们看的是电话，
So they were actually reading the phone
电话
book.
簿真的是没有什么绘画，
Of course, there are no
只有人物。
superfluous words. They're all just characters or
现
people.
在我们进行你问我答，
Now we will do the question and answer.
哇，这是来自于中国内地的。
This question came from mainland China.
弟子平时修法，进入三昧。
Normally, in my practice, the way I enter samadhi is
虚空中诸佛菩萨。
In the sky, the deities radiating light upon me. I myself becomes Grandmaster. And the home syllable on top of the lotus in my heart chakra radiates light toward the deities. Light reflects upon light, and I meditate amidst the light. So this person's practice is very special, very unique. All the deities radiating light upon her, and she became Grandmaster. And then the home syllable on the lotus in my heart chakra radiates light towards the deities, and light reflects upon light. And then she meditates amidst the light. One night, she had a dream. In the dream, Grandmaster in the sky, shining light upon me. I was also chanting the root guru mantra in the dream. The lotus in my heart chakra opened, and the home syllable on the mundus on top of the lotus radiates light toward Grandmaster. Light reflects upon light, and in the flesh I became Grandmaster. And then I woke up. She had a dream. First, my question is, should I change the way I enter so that it exits from the central channel to the sky? And two, at the moment of death, must one soul leave from the central channel? The question, should I change the way I enter so that it exits from the central channel to the sky? So, I'm telling you now. For the first question, if you leave from the central channel into the sky, but which part of the sky? Actually, the method is okay. Your spiritual cultivation is okay. If you leave from the central channel into the sky, it should be you're leaving from the central channel and enter into the heart of your yidam or of Grandmaster Lu, the heart of Grandmaster Lu. That'll be fine. And at the moment of death, one soul has to leave from the central channel, of course. Because in Tantrayana, the most important channel is the central channel. Your life chi typically is not moving. The life chi inside the heart chakra is not moving. But when the life chi moves, Then the life chi from the heart chakra through the central channel and then leaves from the apex into the heart of the deities. And you never return again. That's death or reborn in the Pure Land. If you enter into the heart of Grandmaster and then return to your own heart, that's not the life chi, but that's the illusory body that you visualize. So, in principle, that when you die, you have to leave from the central channel, and you cannot leave from any other places. Because the central channels connects with the apex. If you leave from the eyes, you would be born in water. If you leave from the ears, you would become animals. If you leave from the mouth, from the nostrils, those are all not right. If you leave from the navel chakra, that's even worse. If you leave from the base chakra or the secret chakra, that's even worse. So the only way to be reborn into the Pure Land, to go to the Buddha land, to be in union with your Yidam, is to leave from the central channel through the apex, the tip of the head, to be reborn into the Pure Land. Then that would be correct. Only this is correct. So you don't necessarily have to change your practice. Next question from Malaysia. Amy, the question, Grandmaster, for the 100,000 times of performing the great homage of the 4 preliminary practices, can I just do push-ups like Grandmaster every morning for 200 times to complete it? Thank you, Grandmaster. Push-ups? I normally do 30 times push-ups. And then I collect them to be 200 times. That's push-ups and not great prostration or great homage. Push-ups are push-ups, not prostrations. And we all know about the great homage or great prostrations Dharma practice. Is you perform the great prostration with all 5 points. So 1 count with 1 down and up. So the 5 points all flat on the ground, and then you stand up. That's 1 time. And you bow, and then all the way down, flat on the ground, and then standing up again. That's twice. And you have to do it for 100,000 times. So you cannot use push-ups for it, because push-ups are push-ups. And great prostration is great prostration. Great prostration is like this. You bow, and then you go down flat on the ground, and then you stand up again. That's counted as 1. 1 more time. Bow and down, flat on the ground, and up and stand up again. That's great prostration. But push-up is you come down, and then with 2 arms, and then you push up 30 times. So push-ups are not great prostration. Don't think that 30 push-ups considered as 30 great prostrations. So you should follow the proper way to perform the great prostration for 100,000 times according to the rule. And you also have to visualize. And you push and straighten up your arms, and you visualize in front of you all the deities, or one deity, or your yidam, or thousands of them. Either one is fine. So you cannot skip and do shortcuts. That's the answer. Then a third question from Taiwan. Du Ai Qin. Dear Master, I have a very close friend, and he has insomnia, hypertension, heart problems, diabetes, and his karma is grave. But he has no intention to perform the Dharma practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes. Since we are not blood related, if I do it for him, will I have to burden his karma? Her close friend has problems with his sleep, and also hypertension, heart problems, diabetes, and grave karma. And this close friend has no intention to perform the Dharma practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes. If I do it for him, will I have to burden his karma? Let me consult. The question by Lianhua Aiqun. According to the guidance, by helping him, you don't have to burden his karma. That's due to your compassion. You will not have to burden his karma. That's the answer to the question by Lianhua Aiqun. Actually, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease are very difficult to cure. Up till now, you can only lessen the diabetes, but up till now there is no true drugs that can completely cure diabetes. It can only lower the blood sugar. It's a chronic illness, cannot be completely eradicated. And hypertension. At 1, you're born with merriment. At 10, You are into your study at your 20s, you're at the top of your youth at your 30s, you're into your career at 40s, you start to gain weight at 50s. It's you're at the prime of your life. At 60s, you start to have hypertension. So hypertension is the illness of the older people, but nowadays even young people have hypertension. It's also a chronic problem. And heart disease too. If you eat sweet too much, it would affect heart problems too. Problems with sleep. 1 out of 3 elderlies have problems with their sleep. These are all chronic diseases. And you use the Dharma practice of eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes to cure these chronic problems. You use this Dharma practice of rice and clothes to eliminate negative energy or problems by the ghost. But for chronic illnesses, if you can resolve the chronic illnesses by performing this practice of rice and clothes, then we would put on the fireworks for you. But eliminating negative energy through rice and clothes is like when you encounter negative spirits or energy, like if you got or encountered ghosts and gods and negative energy, then you use it to eliminate it. But for chronic illnesses, if you can really do it, we will congratulate you. But doing this, you will not burden his karma. From Malaysia, Lian Grandmaster taught us that in the morning, reciting Namo Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra 6 times, our whole body is purified. How do the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas shine light to bless us? In your book 264, Dreams Amidst Dreams, you wrote that it is the brow point of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas which radiates light. So, how do I visualize the brow points of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light upon the 6 ports? Do I need empowerment for it? Grandmaster said that in the morning, reciting Namo Hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra 6 times, our whole body is purified. How do the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas shine light to bless us? Well, you go ask the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. How do the Bodhisattvas shine light to bless you? So the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva should answer. So should we visualize the brow points of the deities radiating light upon the 6 ports? Do I need empowerment? Let me consult. So the Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, is it your brow point that shine light to bless those chanting the name of the sutra?
这高朗观世音菩萨是这样子。
The High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva
不只
said,
是天心能放光，
not just the brow point.
高王观世音全身都能够放光。
The High King Guan Yin can radiate light through all his body.
都有光，都能够放光，也就是观世音菩萨的6个部位都
The
能够
6
放光。
parts of the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can radiate light
你
upon
身
you.
上的6个部位都
So
有光，高王
the
观世
6
音
parts
菩
on
萨
your body
任何一个光来照你。
have the lights
但这
of
个法需要
High
万
King
年
Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva shining upon him. Do we need empowerment?
他说是的，
Yes,
这个法是需要灌顶的。
this Dharma practice needs
念
empowerment.
6遍的南无高王观世音经，
Chanting
南无
Namo
高
Gao
王
Wang
观世音
Guan
经，
Si Yin Jing
南无
6
高王
times.
观世音经，南无
Namo
高
Gao
王
Wang
观
Guan
世
Si
音
Yin
经，
Jing.
南无高王观世音经，南无高王观世音经，念6遍。 观世音菩
Repeat
萨
6
任何一个
times.
部位放光都可以照你6处。
And any parts of the High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can shine light upon you.
台湾的莲花俊伟问的。
From Taiwan, Lianhua Junhui.
弟子已受依喜抽嘎佛母灌顶，最近也观业心
I have received the empowerment of Ishichuga, and I have read the sadhana of Ishichuga, and I have some questions. In the visualization of oneness, that at the mundus there are 2 red triangles, is that the Dharma generator palace of the Vajravarahi? E.S. Yes. The 2 red triangles are the Dharma generator palace of Vajravarahi. Second, the transformation that Ishichuga was seated at the lotus in the heart chakra, and home or she appears from where, and how it radiates light to purify our body, speech, and mind. Sometimes the Ishichuga is already seated on top of the lotus of our heart, and the home syllable or she syllable represent the hearts of Ishichuga, the heart chakra of Ishichuga. So home syllable and she syllable appear from the heart chakra of Ishichuga, and that's the same as your heart chakra. Simply said, Ishichuga entered into your central channel and then be seated on top of the lotus of your heart chakra. Is she always that tiny? No. She should gradually enlarge to become exactly like your body. Then at that moment, the practitioner has transformed to become Ishichuga. And Ishichuga is the practitioner, and the practitioner is Ishichuga. So at this time, the heart chakra of Ishichuga is the same as the heart chakra of the practitioner. So that's the heart chakra of Ishichuga. So naturally, there would be the home syllable radiating light, or her sit syllable she radiating light.
由哪里出现？由行者
Where
一
does
息
it
抽
appear from?
心轮中
From
出现，
the heart chakras of the
可以
practitioner and
放光
Ishichuka.
让清净行者的身口意。
And they can radiate light to
同
purify
样的，
the body,
他在
speech, and
心轮
mind
里
of the
面放光，
practitioner.
就已经清
All
净
the
了
same.
行
They
者的
radiate
身
light
口意。
in the heart chakra, and that already purified
二
the
合一的
practitioner's
观
body,
想，
speech, and
二
mind.
合一的观想，
So this is the
这是第
combination
二个问题。
visualization.
第三个问题，打一
The
个
third
叉是什么
question.
意思？
Why is it being crossed?
哦，法会念诵的咒是 Om Beza Ishichoga Bema Siddhi Om。
The mantra
法本上写
chanted
的
in
三
the
个咒都不
ceremony,
一样，其实
but in the
四个咒
sadhana,
都可以用，因为
there
我
are
们念的咒
three
就是
other
Om
mantras.
Beza Ishichoga Bema Siddhi Om。
That's the
这
mantra
个
I
意思是
chant.
讲
Om
一咒当
Beja
中的
Ishichoga
智
Petma
慧
Siddhi
的
Hom, which means
Ishichoga 本尊。
of the universe, the wise Ishichoga
它的
Yidam,
本身的莲花
and
净
her lotus pure land is perfect.
别扎一起抽嘎奔马西地轰，
Om
就是它
Beja
的
Ishichoga
翻译
Petma Siddhi
嗡
Hom.
智慧
And
的
the translation
一起抽嘎
is
本
Om
尊，它的
the
莲花
wise Ishichogar
净
Yidam
非
and
常
her
的
lotus pure land
这
are
个意思就是这样。
perfect.
我刚刚有念过嗡别扎一起抽嘎奔马西地轰，
So I chanted that earlier. Om Beja Ishichoga Petma Siddhi Hom. And the mantras written in the sadhana,
智慧的一起抽嘎
the meaning of the first one,
净
Om
土
the wise Ishichogar
成就一样。
lotus pure land
跟奔马西地轰
accomplished
西地就是多加了两个
perfect.
净土，净土
So
成就。
it's the same. If we add CD, means attainment.
奔马轰轰呸，就是莲花，然后
And Om Beja Ishichoga Petma Hom Hom Pe. So the lotus and to eradicate all hindrances.
以莲花的净土，莲花的清净。
So the Hom Hom Pe is by the purity of the lotus we eradicate all kinds of obstructions and hindrances. And Peja Ishichoga Petma Se Choga is Om the wise Ishichogar and the lotus pure land and the Sit syllable, which is the same as Amitabha's pure land. Soha is perfect. They are all the same.
都是一样，
All these four mantras are the
没有
same.
差别。
No
这样
difference.
子讲，大家就清楚。有一只猴子问按摩师
The monkey asked the
按摩全身多
masseur,
少钱？
how much is it
按
to
摩师讲
massage the whole
20
body?
块美金。
And the masseur said
这
20
只
bucks.
猴子又问，
And the
那么
monkey
只
asked
按
again,
摩脖子呢？
how about
只
just
按
for
摩
the
脖
neck?
子多少钱？
How much
按
is
摩
it?
师讲，
And the masseur
不用钱。
replied, 3.
按摩脖子不用钱，因为按摩一般来讲，按摩全身啊20块钱，按摩脖子是附加的嘛，就不用钱。
So
按摩师讲不用钱。
no need for
小
money.
猴子，这个猴子呢，高兴的对门外喊：“长颈鹿，你赶快进来！”
So the monkey was really happy and
免费
said,
帮你按
Oh
摩
giraffe, please come in.
按摩师说
It's I'm paying. That would be You will get the neck massage, and the masseuse said, "Oh
都
shit,"
是脖子，
because the giraffe is very tall and all neck. This is a joke.
这个可能是语言方面的笑话。
This is
刚刚到数
a
十
joke
电机，
about language.
手机刚好没电。
Yeah, this is play of word in Chinese.
这个人问：“你们有电源吗？”那个你电源就回答：“先生，我就是电源。”
Yeah, because Chanyan is power outlet, but it also sounds like a salesperson. It's only meaningful in
我
Chinese.
要可以插的电源，我要可以插的电源。他告诉警察，他这个店员叫他警察来，警察先生，事情经过就是这个样子。警察讲说好了，不要再说了，对方现在要告你性骚扰。有可以插的电源吗？
So it is
他被
sexual harassment.
叫警察。
He's asking for power outlet, and it's misunderstood as
要手机没电，
a salesperson.
对不对？没想到那个店员说我就是店员，他那个人又问我是要能够插的店员，结果他打电
That
话
I just want an outlet that can be plugged.
告他性骚扰。
But she instead called the police and charged him with sexual
有些误
harassment.
会
So sometimes it's a misunderstanding.
我在讲这个道果，
Now let me continue to talk on Lamdre
复制
about the
分两种。
skillful means. The third one, the bliss practices. The first one is bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. This is the instruction on the meaning of the branch, as stated in the verse.
教是知分异
Quote, all kinds of bindings, etc.,
种种结
referring to all kinds of palaces in the naval area.
一等日
Quote,
列
the
说
etc. is the sum of the three palaces.
心所依宫殿，
The palace relied upon by the mind, the palace of the function of the throat, and the indestructible palace of the apex of the head. The verse,
开分为
quote,
十，
the 10 fundamental qi, etc., end quote.
摄持之
So it is
七列
divided into 10.
即各气各
The verse, quote,
名为
the 7
何
parts of absorption, end
前
quote,
述其
meaning each of the qi has 7 parts as described above, such as name, etc.,
颂
for a
名
total of 70 of them.
次第指以内，即以内持机，悟根本气之
The
力。
verse, quote,
流
the
动
sequence
本
of the
之分
branchial
气
qi stops internally,
渐
end quote.
停止以
It
内
means by upholding the power of the 5 basic qi as the foundation,
令
the moving 5 branchial qi also gradually stop internally.
界会
It suggests that the wind
了
or qi circulation gives to the rising of the kundalini fire
颂以
to open the channels and the amrita accumulates.
多明点，
The
为
understanding
一切脉触
of these 3 principles is a step toward generating meditation.
转化净分成
The
明
verse, quote, bursting forth lots of light drops, end quote, meaning that all channels, the ambrosia or element is all transformed into light drops,
开
like churning the milk into butter.
绽开
the blossoming turns into profusion. If only one light drop bursts forth, then it is by the blessing of one Dakini. If two, then understand it as so. The verse, quote, the clutching relied upon, end quote, refers to the light drops naturally dwelling at the four precious channel palaces, and as one's cultivation power increases, it descends to all the fine channels. The above two practices are the continuum to bless oneself by use of the Samaya Dakini and Wisdom Dakini, and it is the cause to rise to meditation.
你们看到这个修乐这一段文字，谁能够解？
Anyone can explain this excerpt about bliss practice? The Dharma masters and
请问谁能够解释这一段？
the Dharma teachers. Now inside the hall, only masters and Dharma teachers here. The wordings, how do you say? It's very convoluted. The wordings are extremely unreadable. So you don't understand reading it. You don't know what it means. It's really very befuddling. That's why the Mongolian living Buddhas are called as Utu Ketu. Utu Ketu is Mongolian living Buddhas. And in Chinese sounds like Huli Hutu, which is like totally befuddled. Lamdre, some wordings in Lamdre Psalms can be understood, but some completely cannot be understood. So the verse, so it is from the Vajragata, which is the Vajra verse of Lamdre. This has to be explained. Again, practicing the bliss, there are four kinds. One is bliss, superior bliss, supreme bliss, and innate bliss. So bliss is the same as joy. To practice the bliss, divided into two. Bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. So, for the bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, is when the Yidam or Dakini bless you. Then you can perform the practice of the four bliss. The second, bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. The secret dual execution is the consort practice to perform the four bliss.
从上师清果了之，必须要
and to understand it from the lineage root guru.
所以，不管是上依受用、加持、修热，一定要根本上师教你。
So, either of the Bliss practices has to be explained by the lineage root guru. The first one is in the area of single practice by man, and the second is the secret practice that can only be taught by the lineage root guru. So, now the instruction on the meaning. The verse said, in quote, all kinds of bindings, etc. So the channels inside our bodies are not completely smooth and open. When you try to open your channels, you have the dakinis to bless you in order for you to feel the bliss. Or you have the secret consort. When the chi connects with chi, when you try to move the chi, you open the channel knots. And by opening all kinds of knots, you will experience all kinds of bliss. It refers to all kinds of palaces. And the etc. is the Sanskrit syllable. Is the sum of the three palaces. The heart chakra is the channel knot, throat chakra is a channel knot, and the crown chakra is also a channel knot. The crown chakra, heart chakra, and throat chakra are all channel knots. And instead they use the term palace. The verse, the 10 fundamental chi. So actually, there are the 5 kinds of chi plus 5 branchial chi for a total of 10. And the 5 kinds of chi are the upper chi, lower chi, fire accompanying chi, peripheral chi, and the life chi. And the branchial chi, also 5, so for a total of 10. The verse, the 7 parts of absorption, meaning each of the chi has 7 parts as described above, such as name, etc., for a total of 70 of them. We've talked about this, the name, location, the pain, the function, etc. Those that we have talked about last time, for a total of 70 formulas, 70 kinds of explanations. The verse in quote, the sequence of the branchial chi stops internally. It means by upholding the power of the 5 basic chi as the foundation, the moving 5 branchial chi also gradually stop internally. What does it mean? So when you use 5 kinds of chi and the 5 branchial chi, which is at the brow chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra.
这样子住在这个脉轮里面。
So they stay at the chakras, and the chakras are actually the knots. And they use palace. And it suggests that the chi circulation gives to the rising of the Kundalini fire. 开解脉，令界汇集，当了知此三相，是生禅定之次第。To open the channels and the Amrita accumulates, the understanding of these three principles is a step toward generating meditation. So qi, the wind, the qi channels and light drops. 汇集，把脉结打开。 And accumulate and opening the channel knots. And this is the step or a method that you can attain samadhi. The verse, bursting forth lots of light drops. The methods to generate light drops is by relying on food and diet. To increase the light drops, you rely on your own the body chakra at the brow chakra. And you rely on the inner fire to melt the light drops, to generate light drops. So at all channels, the ambrosia is transformed into light drops, like churning the milk into butter. Like when you, this method is like churning the milk into butter. You churn the milk into yogurt, and you churn the yogurt to become cheese. So the same concept. So you churn the light drops to become yogurt, and then you churn the yogurt to become cheese. And the blossoming turns into profusion. And how to burst forth, I will not explain. Even if I explain it, you will not understand. You have to further explain it. And the blessing of the Dakini. So the blessing of the Dakini, or the blessing using the secret. Dakini. And the verse, clutching relied upon, refers to you follow these methods, that light drops naturally dwelling at the four precious channel palaces, and as one's cultivation power increases, it descends to all the fine channels. And the above two practices are to continue to bless oneself by use of the Samaya Dakini and Wisdom Dakini, and it is the cause to rise to meditation. So you use the light drops that you can abide at the four palaces, and they are the palace of the brow chakra, the palace of the throat chakra, of the heart chakra, and of the navel chakra, or the secret chakra. And you generate the inner fire at the navel chakra. Then the secret chakra palace, the heart chakra palace, the throat chakra palace, and the brow chakra palace.
这个修，因为你练习的力量增长，
Because your cultivation power increases,
会到其他的维系的
other than those palaces, it will also reach all the fine channels in the body. In our body, we have 72,000 channels. It will reach the fine channels up to the skin pores. And you use this method to bless yourself in continuum, then it can rise to meditation. So from bliss, you can rise to meditation. So the merging of light drops and inner fire, the assimilation of two, and by churning it, it becomes yogurt. And you use this method to abide at the palaces and to open all the chakras and the channels and to reach all over the body. And at that moment, that's the cause to rise to meditation. That's the explanation of this excerpt. It's very difficult to explain. So even after my explanation, you go back home and read that excerpt again and you would still be muddle-headed. If I have not done the practice myself, I would not have been able to explain it. What was written there? A couple went to see a doctor, and the husband is extremely quiet. And yet the wife talked non-stop. Doctor, my husband had lost sleep for 3 nights. What should we do? And the doctor said, okay, here let me prescribe 3 nights of sleeping pills and just take them every night and it'll be fine. But my husband is allergic to sleeping pills, so don't worry, it's you that should take it. What does this mean? This is what that's why I often ask, when I give wedding blessing, I always ask the man, does your girlfriend love to talk? And he answered, no. And I said, congratulations, you would be really happy in the future. And then if I ask the man, does your girlfriend love to talk? And he answered, oh, she talks all the time. Oh, no. Then you can't even sleep at peace, in peace. So if you can marry a girl that doesn't talk, then you should put on fireworks. Lots of women nags and talks. So much. I went to the noodle shop, to the fast food shop and ordered a cup of soup. And the boss asked, do you want the $30 one or the $50 NT one? And I said, $50 one. And the soup is served. And I just asked, so what's the difference between the $30 one and the $50 one? And the boss answered, no difference. It's just that some people want to pay 50 and some people just wants to give 30. So the boss understands psychology. I have told the joke before. a coffee stall, like a outdoor cafe, and a waitress asked, "Do you want to drink coffee?" And that person said, "No, I don't drink coffee." And it was slow business. So they fired the waitress because she always go and ask, "Do you want some coffee?" And some people say yes, some people say no. And then the other waitress, now it's a new waitress, and she asked different, "Do you want hot coffee or cold coffee?" And some people answered cold coffee, some people hot coffee. So actually it's free to sit there, but because the question was, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee, then business was good. So you need to know how to speak. Would you like some coffee? And the option is no. So then you don't earn the business. But if you ask, do you want hot coffee or cold coffee, then you would earn some money. Someone called Atta loved to go to the night market for the food, but there are lots of pickpockets in Taiwan too. And after finishing eating, the wallet was stolen. And because he couldn't pay, he was brought to the police station. And then one night, he didn't want to try, so the wallet is empty, and placed the money in the thief pickpocket-proof belt. And after he finished eating, he felt that the belt was loose, and the belt was being cut, and the money is gone, but the wallet is there. And I felt really embarrassed. And the boss said, "Oh, someone paid for you, and here's a note for you." And on the note it said, "Please never doubt our expertise." So it doesn't matter where you hide your money, it will still be stolen. So you have to be very careful when you go to the night markets. And especially at the tourist places, especially in Europe, the pickpockets are extremely many there. And because of the coronavirus, the pickpockets gathered and demonstrated a protest that they wanted the tourism to be open again. Last night at 10 p.m. I drove up to the Yangming mountain, and I woke up in my dream, and I discovered everybody's gone, even the driver, and the bus still driving slowly around the mountain roads. I was trembling and shouted, "Ghosts!" And people outside the bus said, "Ghosts?" There was the voice saying that, "We are pushing the bus, up the mountain and you are sleeping, only you are sleeping
所以
inside.
事情发生必然是有原因的。
So there's a reason to everything.
情人跟情人讲话，
The
旧情人
lover
啊
spoke
分
with
手这么久了，
the old lover, the ex-lover. We have separated for so
都
long.
是你牵的
So
手，
do you,
现在
how is your
知道
life?
你牵的谁的手？
In the past, when we cross the street, you always
就
hold
想
my
告诉
hand.
你，
But whom are you
让
holding
你把驾
now?
驶执照，以
But it's
后过
okay.
马路你给我小心一点。
You know, actually, it doesn't matter. I just got my driver license. So when you cross the street in the future, be careful. So it's a threat.
今天老师啊，叫我们写一篇关于
The teacher asked us to write an article
严
about
于精简、
romance,
实际精炼、
and the language should be
悲寂结尾，
precise,
不限
and
日数，
it has to
不
have
是
beginning
小
and
名就
end,
写。
and the number of words is not
嫁
specified.
给我好吗？
And Xiaoming
老
just
师，
wrote,
你嫁给我好吗？
"Teacher,
结果老师就叫
can
他
you marry me?" And the teacher kicked him out of class.
这个跟疫情有关的。
This is related to the
有一个
pandemic.
男子下班回到家，
A
洗完
man
手就
got
坐下
off
来用餐
work and got
尝
home,
了几
and
口
after washing
抱
his
怨我
hands,
所煮的菜
he
肴
started to eat,
淡而无味，
and after a few
辣。
mouthfuls,
太太呢，
he complained that this is completely
电
tasteless.
话告诉市府单位，说他先生没有味觉。
And the wife called the health department and said that
这
the
个
husband has lost
检疫
his
所呢
taste
就派车把
sense.
这个男子带走并隔离14天。
And then he was taken away and to be isolated for 14 days. So the warning
我说关
is
你2个礼拜，
never complain about your wife's cooking, otherwise you will be isolated for 14 weeks. I mean 2 weeks. That's all for today. Thank
非
you
常
very
感谢
much.
法王
Mani
圣尊
Padme
莲
Hum.
生活佛宝贵的法语开示。现在我们恭请师尊师母移驾到坛城，下面
We are very grateful to His Holiness Precious Dharma teaching. And this ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.
非常感谢大家的收看，阿弥陀佛。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing.